Fixed Radio and Festool, take one.
Hi Louis.
Good to see you.
Really good to see you.
Thanks for coming to see us.
I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that you're spending the time with us today. And I've got lots of questions here, but obviously the first question, Louis, has got to be what is Fixed Radio?
Fix is a national radio station directly aimed at the UK trade and construction community, and we've been going since 2017. Now, this is a brand that I started about 10 years ago. In the UK, there's somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million builders actively working. And I noticed as a 22-year-old when I was working on sites that they absolutely love the radio. So it's the first thing that they put on in the morning, last thing to go away at night. I had an idea for a radio station directly serving that community. And we've got about 500,000 weekly listeners, and they are all from within the trade and construction community. And so that's our core focus and why we work with brands like Festool.
Excellent. That's amazing. So, I mean, there's many things you just touched upon there. You touched upon community, and of course, Festool, we're all about making the tradesperson's life better. If you could tell us a bit more about some of the sort of shows that you put on with Fixed Radio, that would be good.
We are like any other radio station in the fact that we play music, we have adverts, we have presenters that contribute content. But because we're so focused on the trade, each aspect has been tailored with a tradesperson in mind. So the music, we have the lowest music repetition in the marketplace, and it's very upbeat, it's high tempo, it's great to be working to on site. In terms of the speech content, we have a balance between light-hearted humour, which is representative of what it's like on a building site often. We help with things like industry trends of what's going on within certain sectors, tips and hacks about how people can be doing their jobs better. And then we have really in-depth discussions around issues facing this community. So it might be tool theft is a massive one.
Yeah.
Mental health is a huge one. One of the big issues facing the UK is the skills gap shortage with not enough tradespeople entering this community. And so we do what we can to try and really showcase the best of what it means to be a tradesperson and why people should join this brilliant industry. So we've got specific shows on carpentry, which is, we've got a brilliant partnership with Festool on that show. And it's a show that goes out to the carpentry community in the UK. It's one of our most listened to shows on Fixed Radio, and that's where the partnership with Festool and Fixed Radio comes to life.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously for us, you just said it, the carpentry show is super important for us.
I think this is the ultimate marriage value because Robin is one of the best carpenters in the UK, and he's aspirational, he takes pride in his work, and to have him running the carpentry show where I'm aspiring to build an aspirational brand is just brilliant. Mm-hmm. And then for us, it was about how do we find a brand that is not only aligned in our values, but also that would fit with a show like Robin's that is very premium and aspiring to be the best. And Festool was the dream fit on that. So I think for everyone it works really well. The show's doing brilliantly. It's the most downloaded show in terms of podcasts. And I believe we've just run a competition recently that was nominated for an award here in the UK. And so it's going really well, and we're really excited about it.
I'm really sort of pleased and honoured for you, that you've been nominated. I think it's an ARIA award, and together we just keep building this network, don't we? This community, I'd like to think.
And you've always talked about it like a partnership, and that's what it is.
Everything we talked about has been brilliant. You haven't got away with this though. It's not so easy, because part of what we're doing right now is, for everybody that's watching this, it's about sort of inspiration. In essence, you just said at the age of 22, you decided to set up this radio station. So if you don't mind, I'd like just to explore a little bit more about Louis the man. And, at any age, it's tough to set up a business. But what motivated you, or what keeps you going? Tell us something inspirational, Louis.
I'll do my best. I think one thing about age, at 22, it's a relatively low risk time in your life to have a go.
Okay.
Because you probably don't have kids, you don't have a mortgage, you don't have all of the responsibilities that come with life. And so I was blessed to have a go at a young age in that slightly safer environment. And I speak to my friends now or colleagues who have aspirations to run their own business. And the reality is the more life goes on, the bigger the risk that becomes. So I think I was fortunate by that. I remember when I came back to my dad at 22 and I said, Dad, I've got an idea for a radio station for tradespeople. And he basically encouraged me to give it a go. And he said he supported me and thought it was a good idea. And that, now, if his first response was, I've just put you through education for 15 years, maybe just start somewhere and then come back and revisit this idea, I probably never would be sitting here today. So maybe for those of you that's got kids out there, I definitely think encouraging kids with whatever it is to give them that push at the start is really, really important.
Yeah.
And then, it requires a lot of determination. I think the key thing is, on reflection, there is no silver bullet. There is not one thing that has led to our success. But ultimately, having a clear vision of where you want to get to. I always thought national radio station aimed at tradespeople, and then it was just bit by bit by bit, putting one foot in front of the other and just never giving up, no matter how hard it got, just sticking at it, keep believing in the vision. But not giving up, I think, is critical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I've basically heard there, never give up.
Yeah.
Which actually is, I think, a musical song. I think it was Rick Astley.
Really?
Sang
Well
the
done.
song Never
Well
Give
done.
Up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. And what I also heard was the importance of, people that are influential in your life. Luckily, your dad believed in you.
Yeah.
And your dad said the right sort of words of encouragement. I think those are two great things for people in the audience to take away as well today.
Yeah, and I guess obviously that's a father and son dynamic, but as colleagues or as managers, we have discussions around ideas the whole time. And so I guess fostering a culture where those ideas are encouraged and people are supported, I think is a good thing.
You just need to have a go.
Yeah.
In life and just keep going. And actually, normally, in my experience anyhow, some of the setbacks are kind of normally what actually make you stronger. Definitely. Or you learn from them. But again, you need a certain sort of, I guess, character or people around you or support. And I think, and maybe that's also why I talk about community a lot, because I need people around me or people to give me the energy. And I think you're a bit the same. And this community that we're building within these tradespeople, you and I have both seen it. They're really, really supporting one another.
100%.
And it's magical.
Yeah, it is. I mean, one great example of that is we were a regional brand for 5 years, and we had aspirations that we wanted to scale nationwide, but we needed a lot of money to make that happen. And we thought, hey, we are part of a community. They seem to enjoy what we're doing and support us. So maybe they might help us actually fund that expansion. And so we did a crowdfund where we raised about £1 million and we had over 500 investors. And the average investment was like £80 or something. So these are just working tradespeople that were happy to put their own cash into it. And that was the essence of community firsthand, that we wouldn't be here today if people hadn't have put their hand in their pocket and supported us. So that's definitely true.
You've set up something called Fix Foundation, is that correct?
Right.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the idea behind that and what it stands for?
We spoke about success, and I guess someone close to me challenged me to go, what's the meaning and purpose behind the business? What value are you adding? And I would naturally, as a business owner, talk about revenue, profit, the size of our audience. But I felt he was pushing me harder to go, that's all good, but what value is that really adding? And so he introduced me to this idea of shared success, which is, what about if you could build something where the more successful Fix Radio is, the more that can help the community you're in? So you can link those two things. And so what I ended up doing was starting the Fix Foundation, which is a charity, and then we distribute 10% of our profits into that charity, and then we'll use that charity as a vehicle to give back to the community. And we've come up with 3 pillars, so it's 3 N's. Now, which is current workforce, next, which is the next generation, and then never forget, which is retired tradespeople. On the back of setting that up and having my eyes open to, wow, the more we can make Fix grow, the more we can give back, and seeing how we might be able to make a difference with that money is definitely lit my fire to really keep driving this forward as much as we can.
Making a difference to other people is so important. It's a really honourable trait. And I think for the profession that you're in and I'm in, we're looking after essentially people that work on their own. So to have something or some sort of force or thing behind them that's supporting them, I think is just amazing. And it's really, hats off to you. It's brilliant. We've only got one more question for you, Louis, and this is maybe a bit of a tricky one. If you were going to be entering the Olympics or in some way part of the Olympics, what sports might you consider? Or
I would love to say I'd smash out the 100 metres and win that, but that's not me. I think I would go, I don't know what the longest running event is, but building a business is basically a long slog where you have to be incredibly patient. So I'm going to go for something like 5,000 metres, and I'll just be out there plodding along, working my way around. That would be mine, I think.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Great,
Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being a part of it. Thank you all.